Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Civil Gore Podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian, and we are done finally with the summer slaycation. It was fun, but it's funny. It's hard when you're trying to actually have a vacation and a slaycation simultaneously. So, you know,
Yeah,
because
it's a
summer is,
lot.
is is off for basically because both our wives seem to have more opportunity to be off in the summer, so we have to kind of pack stuff in. So it's difficult to do a summer slaycation sometimes, but we got through it. We're done. It ended before the first day of fall.
Yeah.
But it is fall, so we have to do our usual like fall slash Halloween haunts slash everything preview kind of thing because there's a lot of good stuff coming up this month. Literally every weekend is packed. I don't even know. We're going to talk about our home haunts, which is going to be funny because I'm gone for half of it. It's like I'm gonna have to have like select nights. I have everything, but we'll go into that when we get to that section. But before we start, I am going to since it is a fall. I think I have to celebrate with my I had the pumpkin warlock, but I haven't had an official pumpkin yet. So that is going to
Oh,
be.
shoot. I forgot to grab mine. Hang on.
Uh-oh. Do you want to
Let
go
me go
get it?
grab. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to grab mine. And this will be magically edited out and while
Yes.
you guys are listening to this.
Okay, I'll wait and pop mine open when you get back.
And I'm back. And through the magic of podcasting, that only took me about 2 seconds to grab that beer.
Yes, it was great.
Um,
I didn't even know that you were gone. Actually, that's how fast it was.
so, Brian, once
Um,
again, so you're doing the pumpkin.
yeah, and I'm gonna pop it open right here, so maybe we'll get the little sit sound when I open the bottle. Let's see. I don't know if that picked up. I put it right by the mic, but maybe it did.
Okay.
But
Let me do my.
yeah,
I'm
it's a
I'm
nice cool
drinking a
pumpkin. The maple warlock, that new one wasn't bad. It was definitely very thick and rich though. So if you're not a fan of thick beers, you may have an issue with it. I know, like, if you like porters and stouts and stuff like that, you'll be fine with this one. But it's definitely maple is the right term for that.
Yeah, I'm not. I like maple, but it can be overbearing sometimes.
Yeah, this one might be a little then it might be a little rough for you, but definitely the original pumpkin is as good as ever. So it is the
Well, I
premiere of pub. Oh, the Elysian you bought.
I finally got my hands on the Elysian pumpkin pack, which I've been unable to find the last few years.
I
But
can
this
tell
is
you
the first.
why
Why is
when you're
that?
done. I'll tell you. Well, no, Seth told me because he used to work when he was in the doing some beer distributing. He was actually no, he told me that like I guess Elysian had to cut back, so that's why there's only 3 varieties this year rather than 4. And if you notice, they went to the cans now more than they did the bottles. So I
Yeah.
think there's just a whole there was a whole changeover. So I forget which one we lost. We lost one of them out of the 4 that's usually in that pack. It's 3 of each. Now I think it's 4 of each of
The
the 3
three
varieties.
types. Yeah, they had Night Owl. This one I'm drinking here is the Great Pumpkin. This is their Imperial Pumpkin Ale. This is their really strong one. I can't
Yeah.
remember the ABV on this one, but this is their Big Daddy. And then there's one more that I can't remember that's in the pack, but I was excited to get these. This
Yeah,
is
so
the
what it's like I forgot too. It's like I mean I have them all because I still have them from last year and they're good until December, which is crazy.
yeah.
This December. But I think it's like what's Night Owl,
I can't remember the
Great
third one.
Pumpkin, and I forgot the other 2 now.
Yeah. Oh, here I'm
Mm,
gonna open mine on mic. Let's see if you can hear it.
I
There
heard it. It
you
was a
go.
nice little dulcet sits, just like
Dulcity, yeah.
Tim's tones. Even his beer opens dulcety.
Yeah. So yeah, these were the first pumpkin beers I've had this year. It's funny. I've had really good luck finding pumpkin products, but not so much the pumpkin beers this year. They've been a little slow to roll out. They're starting to get out there now, but typically I would see those early before I even saw the pumpkin spice stuff. But it was kind of the reverse this year. But we're going to
Yeah.
talk a lot about our favorite pumpkin treats coming up here
Yeah,
shortly.
this will be a perfect I think this is like the perfect episode for the fall. And another reason why we did this is because we actually have I'm not gonna say what, I don't want to jinx it, but we have a couple of big interviews coming up the next few days. that we're gonna combine into one big episode to talk about the movie as well. But again, I don't want to jinx it because this is like epic level stuff, hopefully, and
Yeah.
so I definitely don't want to jinx by saying anything too many details. But I will say this though. Um, we also have in there is an interview of I will have to say two actually interviews of guests. One Tim's got to do solo, but of guests where we've actually never had that type of guest before. Also,
Yeah. I mean,
so
we're going to go ahead and reveal those.
yeah, we could. Well, no, you know what? Let's surprise that too. Let's leave it all as a
Okay. We'll
big
leave it a
surprise.
surprise.
We got basically we have a lot of content coming up, and plus our
Yeah.
coverages of the haunts and everything, and our horror challenge we're going to talk about today, which is officially out there by the time you're listening to this. So there's yeah, we've kind of went full force into fall in October this year.
Yeah. It's going to be good. We got like, I was really happy this year that we had a lot of content lined up before October even hit. So we've pretty much got a full schedule. We could probably release, I think we've got enough content lined up just with interviews and such that we could basically fill out the entire month of October right now.
Yeah.
By the time we record those interviews, we could have the whole month booked up. And of course, we'll have extra stuff on top of that because we're going to be reporting back from our haunt visits, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a good Halloween year. You know, sometimes years just feel off. Like the pumpkin stuff isn't flowing right, and the Halloween's on a weeknight, and it sucks, and
Yeah.
something. But this year, like I think Halloween's on a Friday this year.
It is,
So
which how great is that?
yeah,
Not only do you get to not you get 2 days to recover from Halloween this year, which is nice,
yeah,
you
it's
know,
going to
because you
be
get
awesome.
yeah, well, we'll get into a little more of that first. So
Yeah,
I don't know how you want to do the order stuff. If you want to, you want to talk about our home haunt themes first, maybe?
that's fine because that's probably small because right now we don't have our home haunts actually up. We just have plans or concepts of a plan.
Yeah.
Is in my case.
Oh, don't go there, please. Don't go there.
um,
Oh, I don't want to hear
so
that.
you know,
But yeah,
I mentioned that I was going to do a haunted swamp theme this year, and the reason I was trying to go for a theme is because I've really gotten kind of burned out on my decorations. I tend to put the same stuff out every year just because I have it, and usually I'll take a little bit of stuff out and add a little bit of new stuff that I buy that year. But for the most part, it's kind of the same ever since I've been in this house. So I was like, I need to do a theme so that focuses my efforts into something more consistent. Now, this year, it's not going to be like super, super consistent because I've got a couple of things I've bought that don't really technically fit the theme. But they're adjacent enough that I'm just going to go ahead and put them out there. So what?
may I interrupt 1 second and just
Yeah.
kind of paraphrase George Costanza? Tim, if you feel it fits in the theme and you believe it, then it's not a lie.
Well, so here's the grand vision. We'll see if this actually happens, but this is the grand vision. So haunted swamp. I've got green moss creepy cloth, a bunch of it. That's going to go over the entire porch. So the entire
You know, and
porch
I've
is
been
going to
sending Tim every single thing I
yeah,
see from
yeah.
Amazon. I'm like, hey Tim, add this, add this. I'm like basically spending his money for him here.
Yeah, Olivia had about had a heart attack when she saw my Amazon bill for Halloween decorations.
Uh,
But so I got creepy cloth all over the porch. I've got the my porch light has a LED bulb in it, so I can change it to whatever color I want. So that's going to be
Oh,
green.
nice, nice.
So I'm going to do green light. So everything on the porch is going to be like this green swampy thing. I've got 2 witch animatronics that are going to go up there. They're kind of like swamp witch type animatronics. In the yard, I've got I'm going to do kind of a mix of green and purple lighting. I don't really have anything to like make a swamp in my yard, but I did buy these they're solar powered eyeball plant, like I'm not plants, but they're
I've seen those. I saw those.
yeah, they're like 3 or 4 eyeballs on a stalk sitting. It's almost like if it was a flower, but instead of petals it's eyeballs, and they all light up. So I thought I was going to put those all in the yard and around the bushes. I've got some tombstones I can throw out there. We have a haunted tree blow up inflatable that'll go out there because that fits the swamp theme, the haunted tree. And then yeah, and I got an animatronic frog, which was a new one this year, so that's going to be kind of cool. And so the things that don't quite fit the theme, but I'm still throwing out there. I think I'm still going to do my big giant spider web. I've got a big light up spider web.
Spiders in swamps.
Yeah,
It seems yeah, that'll
and
work.
it just looks cool. The big lighted spiderweb just looks cool, and it takes up a lot of yards, so it kind of makes it more, it allows you to fill in a lot of space with very little expenditure. So it's like you can cover a lot of area with it. So I'm gonna do that. I'll have spiders in the trees and everything. That's kind of the swamp theme. The things that don't quite fit, but I'm throwing them out there anyway, is we bought a big like stacked pumpkin. It's almost like a flocked texture. It's not cloth, but it's almost kind of like that. But
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, I don't know what that's called, but I know
yeah,
what you mean. It's like a
but it's a
fuzzy thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's a big stacked three jack-o'-lanterns on top of each other, and the top one's wearing a witch hat, which kind of fits the witch theme.
Yeah.
I'm throwing that out there because it's just cool. I liked it. I got it at Five Below. It was like fairly inexpensive for what it was, and I really liked it. And then I bought the one I'm really excited about. It's coming in tomorrow. Is a huge garage banner, so it covers the entire garage door,
Oh, nice.
and it is it's made of it's not paper. It's a cloth type material, so it's weather resistant. But it's a big Halloween scene. It's like a castle with trees and jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, and
Oh, I love
it's just
those.
this
Yeah.
huge, giant, garage size 16x7 banner. So I'm going to put that up, which is new for this year. So I don't know I don't know how much the theme's going to come across, but at least there's a little bit more focus there instead of me just throwing everything I have out there. I also have a ghost animatronic I want to throw out there. So we'll see how it goes. It may not be like a super consistent theme, but I think it will at least be more consistent than it has been in previous years. So,
I mean, you could also, depending on the way you lay it out, like it could like be like two themes kind of like leading into each other. Like you could have like an area, like I mean, it's not like the swamps are sitting there out in the open. There is like a path you need to take to get into a swamp. So
right.
as long, yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think you could like make it so that like if people want to walk through it, they could almost like walk through it, almost like an outdoor haunt kind of a thing, and then it won't really matter that not every theme matches because if it's a progression, it could work well.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like if you make the porch as your like central hub for the swamp stuff, which is going to be anyway, because I'm not going to put the animatronics out in the yard; they're going to get ruined. So
Yeah.
everything like electronic is going to be up under the porch anyway. Is you have that stuff, you have everything kind of leading up to the porch, and then the porch is like your swamp haunt piece and centerpiece. Everything else is kind of leading up to it, like the eyeball stalks I could put along the path to the porch, that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be interesting. Unfortunately, we've got 2 tropical storms off the coast. I think it's going to dump some rain here next weekend. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to put I was planning on putting the decorations out this weekend. I don't think it's going to happen. So it may be the first weekend of October before I can put them out, unfortunately. But I don't want to put anything out when there's storm threats coming in. It's
Yeah.
just
I do know if you have like so like I have some tombstones too, and I'll get into that in a second. But like I did look online because this is my first year of actually trying to do anything like that resembles a really cool themed decoration thing because we really just basically, we lived in an apartment for so many years and we lived at my in-laws for a little while till we had this house ready. And so um but I did read like those, those like hard styrofoam
mm,
tombstones. Someone said that if you actually, I mean, granted, it's not going to stop from the wind, but for rain, period, if you put spray some polyurethane on it, the clear polyurethane, it does do like a kind of a lacquer protection from the water. So I don't know if that's how
okay.
much that's gonna work, but, so yeah, so I guess what, leading into mine, I guess I kinda gave some of it away. So as soon as we got moved into, Julie's grandmother's house, all the years, I've obviously first her sister lived there, then Julie lived there when we first started dating, and, I never quite noticed how perfect the house could be, and it's gonna sound weird because it's a very nice house, but it just like, the gate is like a cool, like, gothic, like, metal gate that looks like something out of a cemetery. So as soon as when Julie and I started to move in, I'm like, "Oh god,
Mm,
I got my Halloween theme. I'm totally gonna make a giant cemetery out here." So since the first time, I definitely got little out of control and got excited. I mean, I bought, like so my theme is basically, like, there's what was a flower bed, I guess, originally, like along the front of the house. That's now just dirt. So it'll make perfect. I can stake in all the different tombstones we have. And then, then through the path, what I'm gonna do is I bought these off of Amazon, these staked floodlights that are solar powered, purple.
Hmm.
So it's gonna shoot out like this purple light. I was gonna say, so you may want to look to see if they have a green. I think they did, and they're not a bad. It's like a 6 pack was like $40 or something, or $30 maybe. It was actually really inexpensive for what it is.
Ooh, I might
And it
do
was
that.
a
Yeah.
yeah, and it's a 6 pack, and so, like, basically, you're not wasting electricity, and, like, all day, it could just, like, charge up, and at night, it could just illuminate it, so even if you don't have all your decorations up there, you're gonna start to get something, so that might be one of the first things I put up. And we also do have we bought, like, a purple light bulb, because we actually somehow it was already an orange one. I think my sister-in-law before we moved in must have done that for Halloween, and she had the orange bulb and the little street light. And we have a little path that leads up. So I also did buy like the spider and web thing that I realized I'm like, why did I buy this? There's no but I realized I'm like, well, of course there could be in a cemetery. There could be a giant spider for all I know. So I'm
You gotta
putting
have a
that
giant
in the
spider.
yeah, so I'm gonna put that in the corner, off to the side where it's gonna crawl down, and I have like a little strobe light that I want to see if that could work for it to kind of flash on it, so it makes it give the illusion it's like kind of maybe moving a little bit. Not sure how that's gonna work. Again, this is my first real attempt to do any of this. Then here's where I went a little like so I also have some stuff like you had, like a poster that's gonna go in one of the windows that looks like creepy people looking out the window. Those work really well, especially if you actually it's funny, they look better when you actually have, like, a framed window because it looks more realistic when there's stuff in front of it than just, like,
Mhm.
stake it on? I also have some cool, some, like, hands that come out, so it looks like it's coming out of the ground, so it looks like, the not only is our cemetery there, but it's moving, like, people be trying to escape it. I did buy an animatronic of this little dead girl that only I think on Halloween night or certain nights where I'm gonna be home for sure and like monitoring it. Am I gonna put her on? There's this like stand. There used to be this gate that moved back and forth, and still the mechanism is there. So it's like a square box, and I can put her on top of that, and so she kind of like greets everybody as they walk by, which will be cool. So I'm gonna do that actually on Halloween. The rest of the night, I think I'm gonna keep her on the porch. And speaking of that, so our little porch, what's cool about it is it's very tiny and the door's to the left. But right when you walk up to the porch, before you go in, turn to the door, there's a giant window. And this is where I splurged and I bought a projector, one of those projector systems
I
that's
can't
gonna
wait to see this. Yeah.
yeah, I know. I might test it tonight, so I may be able to have some footage to send you to see if we test it tonight. Um, and that's gonna project like those. Remember like the guy had the tent at Knoebels that year where he had like the zombies or out. I have a bunch of ghost things that are gonna be like peering out the window, so it looks like they're in the house, like roaming around and stuff like that. And then I bought some like hanging skeleton ghost thing that I'm gonna hang over the certain tombstones, so it look like they've already escaped and they're up in the air, kind of flying like
That's cool.
yeah. And then I bought this is the effect that I really hope works. I don't know if it is, but I bought a fog machine and with my and low-lying fog juice. So what I'm hoping is that the fog stays low and hits the purple light, so it gives it that cool, like, like movie cemetery look.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some other stuff I bought. I can't even remember because I went a little crazy at one point. I just bought a whole bunch of stuff. Um, there's also some old stuff I used to have. Like I have this one of those like gothic looking skeleton things that you hang on and it has a remote control. So when you talk, the mouth moves and goes, "Rah, rah, rah,
Oh,
rah," and
oh,
you can
that's
talk
cool.
and say things. So I may put that somewhere. Um, yeah, and I forgot some of the other stuff I have, but I have like a couple of old props that I'm gonna throw around, and then inside we'll probably decorate a little bit, um, but mostly it's gonna be that outside thing, and because I think and we also don't get many trick or treaters at my mother-in-law's house, but supposedly this street gets a decent amount, and there's some kids on our street, so I figured it'll look cool. And I actually talked to my neighbor, I ran into him, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna, they have a little dog that Obi likes to play with. And when I said, "Oh, I hope she doesn't get scared. I'm gonna put some decorations up." He goes, "Oh, I'm gonna do a bunch too." And like so, we
That's
like our
good.
two houses may be the big things on the street here. So should be interesting because it's like, it's like, especially since it's a Friday night, it'll be fun. Like my plan is to sit out on the deck all night. And Julie and I were
Yeah,
thinking maybe we'll dress up as like caretakers of a cemetery and kind of just like greet people and hand out the
we
candy
have a
outside.
blast. Yeah, we have a blast. We set up a table at the end of the driveway. 'Cause, I mean, it's a long driveway to have
Yeah.
kids come all the way through the yard. So we set up a table at the end of the driveway. We have a Bluetooth speaker out there blasting Halloween music.
Oh,
We got
nice, nice.
candy. I'll put the animatronics out there by the table so the kids can see them. We always have a great time. Sometimes we'll do like some kind of alcoholic treat for the adults on
That's what
occasion.
Julie wants to do. She wants to do that too. And I was thinking maybe like a pumpkin spice Jello shot of some sort.
Yeah, so we have a house in the neighborhood that does Jello shots every year. That's really fun. Um, uh, and I do want to give one quick recommendation because these are really inexpensive and they are super super cool. And you can get them on Amazon. They're very cheap. You can get these flame effect LED light bulbs. We put them in our porch light. We have 2 porch lights on either side of the door,
Oh,
and
cool.
these things they're weird looking. Like a cylinder almost, but they screw in just like a regular light bulb, but it looks like a lantern flame. It is really really cool. They're only like
Oh,
I think you
neat.
get like 2 for $10 on Amazon. But yeah, I highly recommend those. We've had ours. We bought ours like 4 years ago. We're still using the same ones
Oh, wow.
because they last
Yeah, I
forever.
yeah, I have a feeling once I get this, like my plan is to try to set up in the next following week. After about Julie's off that week, I think I have a day or two off, a couple of days off because we're doing some trips, which I will explain after. And I have a feeling I'll be running back to Spirit or on to Amazon once I'm done, because I know I'm gonna find
Yeah,
like I was like, well, if only there was one more thing right in this spot.
yeah, exactly.
But it was
Yeah,
funny. My big giant spider thing and the web came with a whole bunch of little spiders. I'm like, oh, these are a pain in the butt because I had that once at a party we had at my years ago. My when I was my Mark and I were roommates back to like 20 years ago now. Um, and we threw a Halloween party as our first it was our Halloween slash uh like housewarming. And oh my god, this thing was crazy because like we like everyone was like so impressed on all the stuff we have, and I still have some props from that. That's what that was. And one of the things we got were those little spiders, and we put them all over the place. And it was like for years I was finding them in weird places because
yeah,
like they get stuck on person's foot, or they pick up something, or one of the cats
yeah.
he had cats. One of the cats would come by and have it in his mouth and drop it somewhere. So I'm like, oh, great, more of these things like these. I'm gonna take those, I think, right away and put them away from somewhere. Or I was thinking it might be fun to kind of put them in the candy bowl. So when people
Oh
reach in
yeah,
for
yeah,
candy, they might
yeah,
grab some plastic spider too. I'm like, that could be good. And I might want to use this bowl. I have a bowl where it's shaped like a half pumpkin and it has a hand in it. When you reach in, it'll sometimes the hand reaches down and grabs you.
yeah, yeah. I
So I
like
was
those.
thinking that
Those are
might be
cool.
kind of fun too. So yeah, I mean, I have so many things I've wanting to use for years, and now I could do it. I think I'm worried about the most thing I'm worried about is, and even if it doesn't work as well as I want, I still think the theme will be cool. I want that projector and the fog to work correctly. The good thing is
Yeah,
with the fog, I bought a timer thing, and the machine on itself has a remote with a timer, so you can click it. So like every like half hour, it'll puff a little bit of smoke for a little bit. So like because I definitely don't want like the whole neighborhood to look like there's a fire going on. Especially in California, with the wildfires happening
yeah.
so easily. I don't want to panic people. So
I think I am going
I
to do the
found this
fog machine.
Froggy's juice. Yeah, you should. And
Yeah,
because especially because you can get like the one I bought, I think the machine itself was like under $40. The fog juice was almost as much. It was funny. It was like $20, but it was a low-lying fog juice, but it has colors in it already in the fog machine. So what you could do is like I'm gonna obviously do mine purple to keep it the purple theme, but you
yeah.
could do it where like the green, it'll shoot out green fog. And you
Oh,
keep
that's
it low
cool.
lying. Yeah, and if you keep it low lying, it totally gives that swamp like
I'm gonna
feeling to
do.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. Because we do have a fog machine. I've just never used it. So I'm gonna get that going this year for sure because that does fit perfectly with the swamp thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. No.
we're on a cul-de-sac, and our neighbor, she decorates as well. Our other neighbors doesn't even live there anymore, so they don't care. The other guy beside me, he doesn't care about Halloween, so he doesn't care what we do. So back here back here in the back of the neighborhood, nobody cares what we do. We could just go
Yeah.
all out. So I will definitely go crazy on the fog.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
you don't have to do it, but just Halloween night, really.
oh, yeah, no, like, yeah, some of these things I know I, like, spent money on, and it's gonna be, like, for, I may do a preview night, like,
Yeah,
one of the weekend like, the week before Halloween, or one of the weekends we're home, but, like, I know, like, the actual weekend before Halloween, I'm gonna be out of town on a trip, which I'll explain in our trip section, or upcoming haunt things, but, but I mean, Julie will be home. This one's I'm just going to. So maybe I don't know. We maybe do it, but either way, I think that week I'll do a preview night, and then on Halloween night I'm gonna go all out. It's like
yeah,
go
yeah.
nuts.
Oh, that's gonna be
So
fun. Yeah.
I guess do you want to go to? We did the housekeeping technically already, so I guess we can move on to like our pumpkin treat stuff that we're looking forward to or have tried this year already.
Yeah, this year, okay, I got my standards. I've always got my standards. I got my pumpkin Cheerios. I got my pumpkin Special K. I got my
Mm.
pumpkin Pop Tarts. All my pumpkin cereals are definitely always a staple. My pumpkin cold foam for my coffee. We
Oh
got
yeah, I've been
pumpkin.
pumpkin creaming. That didn't
Yeah,
sound good.
yeah,
Been using my pumpkin creamer for
yeah.
like
So
months now.
we've been doing that
Stop.
for since the
Yeah.
beginning of August when this
Yeah,
first
Tim and I,
started
the
hitting.
second it's available, we're like,
Yeah.
okay, now our coffee is now enhanced.
I've even got a pumpkin candle on my desk right now. So I branched out a little bit this past weekend because we went to Trader Joe's
Oh God,
and
their pumpkin like
their
mecca.
pumpkin selection is crazy. We got the one thing I got that I'd never had before, which I was very curious, was pumpkin tortilla chips. So
I how were they? Because I see those every year too, and I always hesitant to get it for some reason, just because I'm like, well, this might be overkill, but I mean, which is it's crazy to say coming from us, but
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So
really,
I was expecting a like dessert chip. I almost thought this was going to taste
yeah.
like, like just a cinnamon dusted Dorito, basically, like cinnamon and nutmeg and stuff. Because it says it's made with nutmeg, it's made with pumpkin seeds, it's made with real pumpkin. So I'm expecting this really overpowering, which is fine. I was going to use it as like a dessert snack. Totally not the case. It's
Oh,
a very, very subtle pumpkin flavor, very, very subtle nutmeg. I would say it's more savory than sweet. These would be perfect. They're Trader Joe's pumpkin tortilla chips. That's what I'm
yeah, I got
the
to make my
official
trip to
brand.
Trader Joe's.
But these would be great with a chili. I
Oh,
could say, or a soup. I mean, they're not. There's not enough sweetness to them to mess up anything savory that you're doing. So, for all intents and purposes, they're as useful as a traditional tortilla chip. It's just that they have that really slight edge pumpkin flavor to it. I was really pleasantly surprised because I was totally expecting them to be overpowered and not like them, and I was just blown away that these were like, no, these are perfectly good tortilla chips for any kind of tortilla chip use. It's just that they have that little slight tinge to give them the kind of that fall flavor, and they're really really good. Highly recommended.
everyone
So yeah,
assumes that pumpkin is always so super sweet. It's not. It's what you're getting. They add a ton of sugar
yeah,
to most of those
yeah.
things. It's actually a
Pumpkin
good
itself
pumpkin
is not sweet at
flavor.
all. Yeah,
No, and it's like a hint of it. Like, and
yeah,
people say, "Well, no, I had it all." I'm like, "Yeah, but think of what you had it in. There's look in those directions. There's something in there. There's a molasses they put in, or
yeah,
something else. I mean, nutmeg is not sweet, but like brown sugar is, and a lot of that's one of the things they throw in there a lot. So, yeah, I mean, pumpkin. I just happen to love the pumpkin flavor itself. I mean, and I know Trader Joe's does a good job because they sell the pumpkin sauce, the soup,
yeah. I got the
the
pumpkin butter.
crostinis, the butter,
Um,
the cream cheese. Although I
they
make my
have
own
great.
pumpkin cream cheese. So I
Oh,
remember that thing I made. I brought you guys that time when we went to
yeah.
scare like the malcazage, I call it that pumpkin malcazage. Like I make my own pumpkin cream cheese for that. So
Trader Joe's has great pumpkin waffles too, frozen
oh
waffles.
yeah, they do. They
They
do.
come in like a 6 or 8 pack. I got those as well. Take some of those and then put some pumpkin butter on those. Ooh, yeah,
I
you're
wish
in pumpkin
there was a
heaven for
way.
breakfast.
I mean, there is a way I think I can ship this to you, except it's ridiculously expensive for what it is. But I think I told you about it, and I've showed it on there's these this ice cream thing from the Bay Area that's like legendary called It Sits. they're basically like an ice cream sandwich, but then they're dipped in something, and like so it's like two like thick cookies, and then ice cream in the middle, and then there's usually like a uh dip around it. And so and like cover, it's whatever the flavor is, like it's like and they do year round pumpkin it's, but you can only get it at the
Ooh.
it's factory. So we go and you can buy it, but you can go there and you can buy it. So they have like exclusive ones at the factory that you can get. Well, I say exclusive because you can always find it there, but, like, and to find it in the store, you have to really hunt. Like, the pumpkin one is always the obsession of everybody, and I'm like, all you gotta do is go down there. I mean, the problem is they close at 4 in the weekdays, so it's, like, kinda tough to, if you can't make it down there. Um, but, like, yeah, so they have different flavors there, and that one is good. And, like, our local place, the ice cream place that makes these ice cream tacos, they're fresh. They came out with their pumpkin. I just bought a pint though. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the just a pint of the pumpkin ice cream this year. And then I had that one. Remember, I showed you guys like a month ago. That one we were down in. There's this famous ice cream place in Santa Cruz called Mary Ann's, and they make their ice cream is insane, and their pumpkin is like one of the best I've ever had. But their coffee ice cream is like the one that like I've not even seeing anything come close to something that good.
Oh, that sounds good.
But
And Anna works at an ice cream shop now. It's a really
oh,
like
that's
an
right.
Italian. Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's like
Ritas, right?
it's they're called Jeremiah's. It's a local
Oh,
thing,
but they're like
but
Ritas, right?
they're like Rita's. Like it's Italian ice, or it's really gelati, which is Italian ice and ice cream. So they have it and
Oh,
they
yeah,
mix them
yeah, okay.
together. But she brought me an entire like gallon of pumpkin
Mm.
gelati,
Oh my
and it
god.
was amazing. I've still got a little bit left, but I've been like, it's so rich, it's so good. But then she brought me home one night because they were getting ready to get rid of them, an entire pumpkin gelati cake. So
Oh my god, wow.
it is an ice cream. Imagine like an ice cream cake. It's like a brick, but it's the pumpkin gelati and vanilla ice cream layer, and then it's got like the crust, like the crust crumbles, like the graham cracker
Oh my
crumble.
god, why are they getting
Well,
rid of them already? It's just starting.
well, it was a they had something. It was like a charity event they had with one of the churches,
Oh.
and they bought like so many of them that uh they didn't like they had them literally like left over, like they'd already paid for, so they were just basically handing them out to the employees. So it was like she got like a free $30 ice cream cake.
See,
It
she
was
knows her
awesome.
dad. She
Oh
knows what
yeah.
to
Oh,
she
she's
she
always
probably
looking
like
out for me.
knocked everybody else out of the way. She's like, "Nope,
Oh
I
yeah.
need one."
No, she was looking out for me. The day they had pumpkin, before it even released to customers, she had brought me one home to
Oh,
try
nice.
because she knew I like pumpkin so much. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
it's funny you said with the crumbles because I did a hack the other day when we went to Rita's about a couple weeks ago. They have like one of those whatever they not concretes. I think that's what they call like a Shake Shack, but they had whatever it's like a Sunday kind of thing that they make up with all pumpkin this and all the. But I'm like, oh god, I want that, but it's too heavy right now. But then I noticed all I had to do is buy a pumpkin ice cream, and then they have the crumbled like pie crust chips. So
Hmm.
I just got that and as my topping on it, and so basically I made, like, a much smaller version of it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
much so it was, like, half the price too, and I'm like and it was the right size, like, those big things, I'm like, "I'd die." It was, like, 1,000 calories or something,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, some of the other things so, like, one of the things I can't wait for I thought it's funny, their website shows they have it, but Julie's actually coworkers because they make her bring these donuts, to her, they said October 4th, so next Friday, I'll be able to first get this legendary donut place, in Santa Clara called, Stan's, and, I mean, they are just there's something I mean, like, literally, you go on a weekend morning, and if you're not there before 8 o'clock, the line's, like, out the door and down the street, and, like, it's, like, inside, it looks like almost like a little luncheonette kinda thing, but nobody rarely ever sits in there because usually the line is so filled with people waiting for their donuts. We usually pre-order so we can just go in and get it. They're regular glazed, they're, like, just phenomenal. But they also make these really good buttermilk donuts, and every day is a different flavor. Like the lemon one is really good, but on Fridays in the fall they do the pumpkin ones. And let me tell
Mm.
you, by far, it is the best pumpkin donut I've ever had in my life. This thing is insane. It's huge. It's like this size. and it's like multi-layered of like, and there's like this crisp, like these little crispy things on the outside of just the way it's
Oh
cooked.
man.
I wish I could ship it to you. Like, I don't even know how I do it because, like, I feel like I would have to buy it, wrap it up, seal it, and then overnight it to you for you to get the
To give you a
true
close approximation to the, yeah,
experience. Yeah, because
yeah,
after a couple days, like a good fresh donut is not going to taste the same.
right, yeah.
So, yeah, so but like, so I can't wait for that. And then local cupcake place already. They've been like for 3, 4 weeks already. Been doing their pumpkin spice and pumpkin cheesecake donuts, which are awesome. This place called Frost Cupcakes. They actually won on Cupcake Wars. Like the
Oh
owner, she
wow.
won yeah. So, and it's like down the street from me, and I'm like, what the heck? Said I can't believe this place is like, and they not only that, but they also sell that Marianne's ice cream I told you. They added that like last year, so it's like you go in there and
Oh
you're
god.
it's a very bad little strip mall section because right next to that is the liquor store that decided to upgrade their beer thing now. So you get that, and then so it's really rough little section. But I do want to give another shout out, of course, to that place. I mentioned it, and I showed them on Instagram. I think I told you there's this place. They've been around a few years, but I first discovered them because of their post. It's called Hannah's Coffee, and every year they work all year to make the perfect pumpkin spice latte.
Oh man.
And they tweaked the thing this year, though. I told them, I went in there last week, I got another one, I'm like, "Yeah," and because I had commented on their page, and I went in, I told them, I said, "Yeah," I said, "You guys are the best." I actually sent it, and he goes, "Wait, you're the podcast guy, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." I said, "Oh, you saw that? Okay, good." I was like, "I didn't know who did your social media," but I'm like, "Yeah, no, it is not even close. It's the best I've had." And the best part is, they're not, like, snooty about it. They flat out put the recipe on each year so you could replicate it. Basically give you exact, and the place they said, "Here, this is the syrup we use, this is the
Oh
exact amount
wow.
we do." Yeah, so you go on their website and they share it with you. So it's like, I mean, most places will guard a especially a
I
recipe that they
know.
try and do that, but I told them, I said, "Yes." I said, "Me and my co-host we are pumpkin extraordinaires," as, like,
Yeah.
so, aficionados, I should say, and, yeah, so, and I've already said that, I said, "I wish I could ship him one." Again, like, "Tim, you just have to fly out in 24 hours, I'll take you to all these
I
places, and then you
know.
go home."
Well,
'Cause
when I go out there, I've got to go out there close to haunt season.
oh,
I've
yeah,
got
I
I've
think you
got
need to go, yeah, because then we
yeah.
could do, like, horror nights and stuff,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
speaking of that, I guess that's a good segue now into, what we got planned coming up, haunt-wise this year, or Halloween event-wise, I should say.
Yeah. So my dad's having his annual Halloween party, of course. This year it's going to be mid-October. So we're going to go up to Charlotte for that. As always, we always go to the Hickory Grove Haunted Trail, which I've talked about on the podcast before,
I
which we're going
know,
to do that
I'm
again.
dying to do that
Um,
sometime.
and we're going to try to sneak in, hopefully, a Scarewinds trip. Scarewinds this year has something very interesting. It's a $15 upcharge. It's in all the Six Flags parks. That is the Conjuring Beyond
Yeah.
Fear special attraction. I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's sort of maybe like kind of like a combination, not really an escape room, but there's like puzzles and things you have to figure out while stuff is
Oh, you
going
gotta
on.
do that.
It's like a 20-minute or so experience. So I really want to do that. If nothing else, they do have their haunts this year. I think they've got five haunts this year. And it sounds like, listen to these, Brian, because it sounds like a lot like they kind of stole from, I don't say stole, but took ideas from Universal Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. So they got a DefX 2.0, which is a scorched doll factory, which sounds really
Oh,
cool.
yeah, that is cool.
Um,
That seems like
Paranormal,
something Anna would like, because she always wants you to buy her those creepy dolls.
yeah, I really want to see that one. Paranormal Inc., which is like a kind of like an insane asylum type thing. Tooth Fairy, which we've seen at Halloween Horror Nights before, so like a demented Tooth Fairy maze. This one I'm interested in too because it's one of their better houses. Slaughterhouse: The Final Cut. So Slaughterhouse is a long running Scarewinds haunt, and it's
I
always a
must
good
have
one.
seen that, right? I
You
must have
saw it,
went in that with you,
yeah. It
yeah.
was there the year we went, and it's a great one. It's always a good one, and this is like, I don't know if they mean the final cut. This is the last year they're doing it. I don't know if that's just the name, whatever. And then this one I'm really interested in is Silver Scream Studios, which sounds a lot like the one they had at Horror
Oh,
Nights. It's different.
Slaughter Cinema, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Slaughter Cinema. It's like step into deadly films, scream through aliens, dodge vampires, and survive camp horrors before the credits roll. So all that sounds really cool. They have, of course, I got a couple of scare zones outdoors and stuff. I have not been to Scarewinds in a while. It's probably been since the last time we went, Brian, is the last time I've
Oh
actually
my
gone to
God.
Scarewinds. So I'm kind of really wanting to go this year because it's included in my season pass. Like it'd be an absolute shame not to go. And
Yeah, of course. And the kids, now that the kids love coasters and haunts, I mean,
yeah, so
now it's worth your time to make that trip.
yeah, so I'm gonna have to try to figure it out. The problem is I don't know how we would be able to do it on the same weekend as my dad's thing because of course his party's at night. So I can't do it Saturday night, and then Sunday night it's going to be too late. Like the kids would have to take off school Monday. Like we're trying to
Yeah.
avoid them missing school. So I'm gonna try to figure something out. But every weekend is so crazy. I'm gonna let you talk about one, and then I've got another one I'll talk about.
Yeah, so well, speaking of, you gave a good segue because next week I'm going to the premiere one, as many people would say, is Julie and I are going to this weekend. Well, actually, as you're hearing this, it'll be tomorrow for us. We're going to Halloween Horror Nights again in Hollywood. And actually, I saw something. Remember last year I said, you know what? I have to say, I think I liked it better than the Orlando one. This
Mm-hmm.
year, someone said they might actually, like, this year may take the crown away from Orlando. Like Hollywood
Wow.
might be the better one just because of the. I think it's partly the terror tram and the way it's laid out, and I think it just. I don't know, something about it was cool, and you may just. I think with Orlando, it's like it's just like it's so massive, and it's almost like it's like a weird. It's like a weird experience when, like, I remember the first time we went, we were like, if we didn't do that RIP tour, I feel like we would have been so confused at what was going on. It's like it's just
Yeah.
there's so many things all over the place. This one is a little kind of like the way it is, it just kind of adds something to it, I think. But yeah, no, there's amazing houses this year. Apparently the Terrifier house they're saying is like one of the best houses ever. And so remember, I think spoke last year. There's like we did this year. We spent a little more to get this ticket. We did the after 2 p.m. early entry slot, which will get us there at 2 o'clock. We get to go in at 2 o'clock, and basically comes with the express pass. The one we did. So from 2 to 7, we get express passes. And then once 7 hits, we can use those express passes again on attractions. So anything that we didn't use it for before set, like say we go on, like, like Jurassic Park or something at 3 o'clock. Like on the express pass, it's usually a one-time thing, but basically once 7 hits, it refreshes again, so you get to go one
Oh,
more
so you
time.
basically get two. Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically get 2 per thing if you want. And then of course includes one house per thing. But my strategy is to try and go hit Terrifier first because there's 2 exit. Terrifier supposedly has 2
The wet and the dry.
endings.
Yeah.
Yeah, wet and a dry, and from what I understand, they're both really good. So it's like I kind of want to do both. So what we figured is we're gonna get there, we're gonna line up on that one first, suck up the line, which will be probably maybe like a half hour, 40 minutes right away, and then use our pass to use the second time to try
That
that.
would make
But
sense. Yeah.
the two houses all the way in the back, listen, Terrifier and the Poltergeist house. Could you? I
Oh,
mean,
the two
two.
best ones, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Poltergeist house, they said, might be the best one they've done. It's even better this year from the other one. Everyone's been raving about this house. And one thing I've seen a lot of is a lot of people said the Five Nights at Freddy's house now has been picking up and gets a tremendously long line, but that's all the way down in the bottom lot. Because if you're not familiar with Universal Hollywood, there's an upper lot and a lower lot. And the lower lot, to get to it, is like 4 giant escalators that literally take you down the side of the mountain to the bottom level. Um, and then the Terror Tram this year again is like the Terrors of Blumhouse, but I think they've added more properties in there. And last year that was a true highlight, was the Terror Tram, because that's something you don't get in Orlando. And
Right.
it's like basically the Terror Tram takes you down and it drops you off, and you do the walkthrough part, and you get to pose with Norman Bates in front of the Psycho House, which we didn't do last year because we were pressed for time. That's why we did the expanded thing, and we have a whole better strategy this year, so we'll be able to do that. And they'll take you with the fake Hollywood sign they have up there, so you can get a couple of extra little pictures and stuff. Of course, the Friday the 13th Jason Universe house I'm looking forward to. The WWE fan, I'm looking forward to the Wyatt Six, which is like their kind of horror. And they said it's like a great tribute to the late Bray Wyatt, who really brought horror back into the WWE. And Tom Savini designed his mask. So, I'm looking forward to that. The Fallout one, Julie and I watched one episode of Fallout just so we knew what the heck was going on, but I heard that house is really good too, but their
That's a
food
great
section is
show.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the first episode we saw. We're gonna continue it, but we're trying to just fit like a little bit in just so
Yeah. Yeah.
because I guess neither of us had played the video game or seen the show yet at that point. So I'm like, okay, let's at least watch one episode so we get some kind of a
Yeah.
reference what's going on. I know what that little blonde kid is. So but, but the food looks really cool, which is great, although I'm not buying a $40 Jason hot dog because 'cause I'm like, I can't deal with that. $40 for a hot dog is just ridiculous. I mean, it's huge, it's like 2 feet long, but there's way other better foods we wanna try.
Yeah.
They
It is
have,
a hot
again,
dog.
like, Dia de Muertos section with, like, Monstrous 3, where it's, like, the ghosts of Latin America.
That
They
looks
tweet
cool.
that one, which is really cool. I'm missing I'm missing a house or 2, but yeah, it's just you know what? I just like to me, it's like I just get like I love that. I've always loved that park because that's a park ever since I was a kid. It was like Disneyland and Universal were the parks I went to every year when we'd go visit my grandmother. So there's a special like spot in my heart for that park to begin with. So now that with the Halloween Horror Nights there, it's just so cool. And the scare actors are like top notch because they're probably actors that are just
Yeah,
trying to really
you
find
probably
a
got
job.
the actual real actors over there on the West Coast.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you get like you get a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking for. They have really cool themed drinks, and they brought this year. Hopefully, we'll get to see the show because they have the Purge show and the Waterworld thing, and I forgot the other show. It's some kind of anime thing I've never heard of, so I'm fine if I skip it. I honestly, if literally, I not like a. I'm pretty well up in pop culture, and I know I don't know all the crazy things the kids are into this day, but supposedly they're promoting this huge kind of anime show thing. I don't know. I've never even remotely heard of it, so I don't know what it is. So I could be stupid and just not on in the know, but whatever it is. That I'll probably skip. But they'll still have Chucky's dive bar, even though there's no really Chucky house or Chucky presence there other than that. Like last year they had a show, the late night with Chucky, but this year at least they just have his dive bar, which has some really cool drinks. They have really good drinks there and stuff that they like them at. So I'll make sure I get some cool video and I'm gonna try out my gimbal there that day and really get some cool shots. And I'll get some new shots of the Fast and Furious coaster, which the track is complete now,
Oh,
and they're
nice.
actually
That thing
testing.
looks
So it'll be
good,
cool
yeah.
to see it. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, you might have to come out there next year for
I
somehow,
know.
like in October, and we'll
Somehow.
just do it
Yeah.
all.
We gotta plan that out. The only other thing I had I got 2 things this year. One of them is not really Halloween related. I did get tickets to see, and I think I mentioned this on one of the last shows, but I'll go in a little more detail. Got tickets to see Amy Bruni, and
Oh, right, yeah.
she is a former ghost hunter. She's actually one of my favorite ghost hunters on that show because she's always seemed to have like she was one of the more like serious like she's one of those that like does all the historical research and stuff. But anyway, she's got
That's
a
why I like Becky Galentine does. I like that
yeah,
because she's
she
like
reminds me of
she
that
really
same
does her
style.
research. Yeah.
Yeah, Amy Bruni's very much of that same kind of that same style. But she has a really good podcast called Haunted Road, and which I listen to all the time, and I love it. And so when I found out she was coming to town, I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool," because I really like her podcast. And this is even more up my alley because she actually mixes true crime with paranormal. So her
Oh.
show is she does a whole presentation on she's doing I think Lizzie Borden
Oh,
murders,
nice,
and I think
nice.
she's doing one other one. But it's basically so you're basically getting the history, the true crime history, but you're also getting her paranormal investigation stories on top of that. And then they said even another cool thing about her shows is she brings along all of her haunted artifact stuff and
Uh-oh.
displays it, so you can
Oh,
walk around
cool.
and see her exhibit after the show. And she also has a Q&A and everything. I don't know
Whoa,
what to
you gotta ask
expect.
a question. Your question is, will you like to come on Civil Gore
Yeah,
podcast,
exactly.
please?
But I just thought it would be. I was looking at it, I was like, should I go to this? I don't really know what to expect. And I was like, you know what? For the price of us going out to dinner, is basically what these tickets would cost. Price of a family of us going out to dinner. This would be a cool
Yeah,
Halloween event thing to do. I think the kids would enjoy it. I love true
yeah.
crime. Olivia loves true crime. I'm like, that'd be just a fun thing, and it's
S
for the podcast, so we could do it there.
yeah. It's
Justify it
something
there too.
new.
Yeah,
I've been trying
there's
to,
something.
gee, it's good to do new things these days. You don't know how
Yeah,
like how when how much time do we have on this planet, for God's sake? And you know what?
Yeah,
Look, it's good when you have an opportunity to try something you haven't done. Do it, especially
yeah,
if it's like not like, it's not like it's $1,000 a ticket. Yeah,
right,
it's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
idea.
So
Yeah.
I'm really curious. That's happening on I think it's the 16th. No, sorry, the 14th of October. So sometime around
Nice.
after that, I'll be able to give you a review of it. But yeah, I just thought it'd
Yeah,
be
we'll
something
do
kind of fun.
recaps. We'll do a
And then
bunch of recap shows.
this one's not related to Halloween, but I think it's going to be really fun. So Anna back this summer got tickets to Renee Rapp. If you don't know who Renee Rapp is, she
I
was
tried to win, actually. I love Renee Rapp. She was great
yeah
on that, Sex Lives of College Girls, and she's a
yeah
really good musician.
she's a yeah. So she was an actor on Sex Lives of College Girls. She was also in Mean Girls,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
Mean Girls movie. But she's really good singer as well. She's got her last album was great. I actually really liked her last album.
I tried to win tickets through Sirius. I did not win, though.
Well,
I entered the
Anna
contest.
Anna like begged me for tickets. I said, "Girl, I can't afford these tickets. Like, if you want to pay for them out of your money that you're working for, that's your money." So she said, "Well, will you pay for the hotel?" I said, "Yeah, if you pay for the tickets, I'll pay for the hotel." So that's what we're doing. We're going up in Charlotte.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's doing a Charlotte show on the 29th. And what's cool about this show, which I didn't realize when Anna got tickets, is this Renee is from Charlotte. So this is not only her hometown show, it's also her
Oh,
Halloween show, and
that's gonna be awesome.
it's also her last North American show. So
Nice,
it's all
nice.
three of those things in one. So I think she's probably going to go really all out, and I'm really looking forward to it. And Anna got like, oh my god, these seats are incredible. Now, obviously, they're not front row, but dead center stage,
Oh, wow.
in
Check
the
Anna out. She's on
in the
fire
stadium.
this year
Yeah,
with stuff.
dead
Wow.
center. So
Nice.
it's gonna be a blast. So me and her are gonna go there. We're probably gonna try to sneak in a quick Carowinds jaunt over to ride a Fury. We can't do Scarewinds, but we can ride Fury Sunday before we ride back home. So
Maybe Renee
I'm looking
Rapp will
forward to
be
it.
there going on a ride
Yeah.
before you see.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
and then
she's I think she's so talented. And not
she
enough
is.
I feel like not enough people talk about her talent.
Yeah, she's incredible. Like her, go watch some of her vocals are insane. Like she is a
Yeah.
really
I
good
mean,
singer.
yeah, like she could yeah, like she could be like I have a feeling within a couple years she's gonna be like the top one of the top levels. I mean she is
Yeah,
pretty. I mean if you know her, if you're a fan of her, you know her stuff and you know how good she is. But I feel like for some reason, like either maybe just her marketing person isn't good
yeah.
because I feel like not
She's
enough
starting.
people
She's
talk
starting to
about
get it.
her.
Like you obviously got Taylor Swift at the top, but you've also got Sabrina
Yeah,
Carpenter's way up there.
right.
You got Chapel Roan
But
is now way up
she
there.
could be at that level.
She's getting close to that level. Like I think it's
Yeah.
she's getting there. So and the
And if
hotel we're
couldn't
staying in
tell, this is a pitch to get Renee Rapp on our show for some
exactly.
reason,
No,
just
the hotel
because.
we're staying is I can't believe I got this hotel literally across the street from the like when I say across the street from the stadium, I'm talking about
Oh
like
my god.
it would literally take me 10 seconds to walk from the exit door of the stadium to our hotel.
Maybe this is a Renee Rapp hotel
I
also.
know that's what, and I was like, what if Renee's staying there? I was like, honey, Renee Rapp would never stay in a hotel this cheap. So
Oh, it's cheap. Okay.
it's not like a slum.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm sure she's staying in. Oh, Joshua just walked in. He is who you being Max? He's gonna be Max from the Goofy movie.
Oh, nice.
Come show Brian.
Classic, old school, I like that.
Yeah, check this out.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Come over here.
He got really tall. Joshua,
Yeah,
you're growing up too fast.
yeah. He said you're growing up too fast. You got too tall. That's awesome, Joshua. Completely homemade outfit.
Yeah, that is a awesome
That's great.
costume.
He's got the skateboard and everything. I
Oh
love it,
my
buddy. That's
god,
cool.
that's amazing.
That's cool.
He's on
Um,
point.
yeah, but so yeah, that's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have
Well, I was
fun.
gonna say the thing about Renee, sometimes they don't like staying in the super fancy hotels because that's where everyone expects them to be. Like one time, Julie and I
Exactly.
stayed at this tiny little hotel in Hartford, and when we were down there was a little bar, and we went and got a drink down at the bar, like very little bar. When I mean little bar, it's like 3 seats at it, and we were sitting there, and the guy keeps saying, he goes, if you stay down here long enough, Pauly Shore's gonna be here. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh yeah, he's doing a show down the Civic Center, but he always stays at this hotel when he's around, and I'm like. this one? Like I didn't mean like it was just more a genuine shock because it was just like a
Yeah.
tiny hotel, like a Comfort Inn just kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, no, he's gonna be down, he's gonna be there. He always hangs out. But Julie and I were so tired we couldn't wait up any longer. We're just like, okay, you know what? Pauly sure is awesome and all, but I'm tired. Yeah, we had a
My
long
only
day.
claim to fame is I once stayed a few doors down from Muhammad Ali when I went on a business trip.
And I met him in an airport once. So there you go.
Yeah,
See the Civil
I
Gore
didn't meet
connection.
him. I didn't meet him, but I was on the same hallway as him, and I could see his security guards outside his. He always had a guy like a security guard outside of his door.
I would bet. Yeah.
And the lobby people had told me, she said, "Oh, you're staying right down the hall from Muhammad Ali." I was like, "Oh, that's
so much security, right? They're probably like,
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
supposed
like
to say
whatever.
that.
Yeah, you're probably not supposed
Well,
to say
hey-
that, but he had security, and
I mean,
he
we
could beat my
also
ass anyway at the time. So
I mean, we also rode the elevator with Francis Lee McCain. So I
that's
mean,
true.
can you get better than that? I mean, no.
No, you can't.
That's still one of my favorite con moments ever, just because Tim and I, we knew at that point we had that friend subliminal connection at that point, and we didn't need to say a word, and we both been thinking the same thought. But anyway, but she is a doll, by the way. I love
A
Frances Lee
doll,
McCain.
total doll.
Anyway, so okay, so I guess some of the stuff I have lined up too is after Horror Nights when we get back. We booked a little just because Julie's off that week. We're gonna go to Half Moon Bay, and Half Moon Bay in California. Very popular area with there's about 8 pumpkin farms there. So we're gonna make sure we hit one of the good pumpkin farms that's dog friendly because we'll have Obi with us. We're gonna hit a pumpkin farm on the way back, get some good pumpkins for this because I think I want to buy a number of them, just to have and kind of put them around. So I get a couple of the little ones, just to give the little Halloween touch and see what else they have. Then a week later, I mean, like literally, like I am like shoving Halloween down my own throat this year. We have the Winchester Mystery House Festival Fright Nights, and we skipped it the last year. We went the first year we were out here, but this year they've changed it. They actually hired a like literally as they put it, a professional haunt company, and they are gonna they've done it differently. So now it's kind of like what a theme park does, where they have multiple houses, but they kind of tied it into Winchester. I'm just gonna summarize what's there. One of the things I'm kind of bummed. First of all, we got an insane deal at Costco. Okay, I looked because basically I bought a thing for $69. It was a voucher for 2 tickets for all the houses plus the fast pass and for $70. When I went to look, so what you
Wow.
do is when you go to redeem it, you put it in, then you put your code in on the thing and it takes off what you bought. Our tickets would have cost $200 for
Oh
the 2 of us.
wow, that's
So I
awesome.
saved $30. And they waived the ticket fee that they put on it. Costco actually waived the ticket fee on top of it. So it pulls everything off basically and it gives
That's
it to you for
crazy.
yeah. So basically I spent $70 and so I basically saved $130 on this thing, which is insane. And we're going on a Saturday night, 8:30, like prime time.
Wow.
So yeah, so what they did this year, and they added on a couple of things, which like a little extra add-on things, which I like an idiot, I didn't catch. So we may add it on the day of. Although one of my friends we're going to, she's a scaredy cat. We totally convinced her. Her boyfriend's into it, but like fiance is into it. But we totally convinced her to go this. We wanted her, she was gonna go to they were gonna go to Horror Nights with us, but I think that might have been overload. So they're gonna come to us with this. So basically, what they did is the Winchester Mystery House. They basically added 3 separate haunts, but the way they tied it in is kind of they tied it into the house itself. So there's if you bought the VIP admission, you could get the masquerade ball, which we're not doing.
Right. Yeah.
That's I don't need to do that thing. But the main attractions are so it's done in like 3 acts the way they put it. So the first one is called the Masquerades of the Shadows, where it's basically they said step into the opulence of the grand 1920s masquerade at the Winchester Mystery House. So I guess like it's like a whole party sequence, and then as you go in there, though, you start hearing things, and all the ancient secrets reveal itself, as they put it. And the maestro, it says, opens a forbidden portal, unleashing vengeful spirits from the history and unraveling reality itself. So, and there's something with a philosopher in there. So there's a whole thing where they kind of that's how you like sets it up, and your first house you go through kind of sucks you into this thing. Then there's called the root of all evil, which kind of reminds me of that house. Says it's adventure beyond the mansion's fading glamour into the gardens with the
Oh god, the plant
desecration of the
house.
haunted ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, the famous what was that one called again?
Seeds of Terror or something like
Seeds
that.
of yeah, that's what I kind of feel like it is. But But basically, supposedly it says
Seeds of
it says
extinction,
the
something
deeper
like that.
you go, it gets crazier, and so it says like the twisted history unravels and mansion blueprints hint at a sabotage between the house carpenter and his construction team. So there's this whole kind of stuff you go through, and like you go through it's the greenhouse section of the house and everything, and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's
Then
cool.
you go to the final descent, and they said this is Act 3, and that's you lead you're led into the forbidden back mansion. It says where the wallpaper peels all like old flesh and something monstrous rumbles beneath the floor. So I guess that's the whole that's the finale of this thing where I guess the maestro's assistant tells you, wait, you're not supposed to be back here kind of thing. And then
Oh,
so
yeah.
I guess it even says there's a familiar shadow lurking in Sarah Winchester's bedroom. So it goes really, so it uses the house to tell a story, but not in the way it used to, where it was just like a cool haunted house, kind of with weird effect. Like it literally is a 3-part story you walk through
That's
to
cool.
each house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then so this is the 3 additional experiences which I want to do. I know we might do this one, Julie and I, and but I think one of our friends may back out of this. It's the under house where you basically go to the basement with just a flashlight.
Oh,
Which I
yes.
didn't catch that right away. I should have read that better when I could have added it in, but we might add it in that night. But then there's also a Harry Houdini thing which this we definitely want to do, where it's like basically it's like a display of all his magical stuff and a little kind of like a
Oh my god, I would freak out.
seance
I'm a
rehearsal.
huge Harry Houdini
I
fan,
know,
yeah.
me too. And so that's why I'm so bummed I missed this when I was like signing. I didn't register. So I'm gonna look to see if I can add it now, or if not, we'll try and add it that night. And then they also have the Carpenter's Reckoning with the axe yard, which is basically a haunted axe throwing path that you take, supposedly.
Oh, that's
And you
cool.
go through, yeah, and it's like it says like it's like you can compete with other people and stuff. There's like, but it's like bullseye. So I think it's like a kind of like a half haunt, half axe throwing game.
Which is a
But
great combo, yeah.
yeah, right. So that seems really cool. So then we actually have a break, like the next weekend. But then the following weekend is my brother and I usually tend to do we always do a Vegas trip in the fall. Well, since we're happen to be going like that the second to last weekend of October. So I bought my ticket. I am going to check out the new Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas.
Ooh,
So
which is
I'm going
great.
by myself. Yeah, which looks amazing. One of them is a Universal Monster House. There's 4 houses in there and a bar and some food. So I'm just guys bought my ticket. I'm just gonna go over there for a few hours and meet up with everybody again later. But I figured I gotta check that out. If I'm
Got
gonna be
to
in
for the
Vegas, I
podcast,
can't
yeah.
yeah, for the podcast at least. I gotta check this out. So I'll definitely get a lot of footage and give a good review on that. From what I heard, it's not that crowded yet, but I mean, I have a feeling October is gonna
Yeah.
ramp that up. And I mean, I've been to a couple of haunted attractions there already. Like I've did those escape room haunts, which are just phenomenal. So I can't imagine this being a disappointment for someone like me. So I think maybe an average person may not appreciate it, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I think there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house,
Yeah.
Universal Monsters, a Scarecrow thing, and something else. I forgot the other one, but so it's got a lot of cool stuff. So I'm definitely gonna go check that out and give a good report on that. And then one of the things is it's funny because I was wondering, I'm like, I'm nervous. Maybe they're not doing this year because they haven't announced it. And sure enough, they announced it today. Confirmed it. I think I've told you about that little barcade. I went last year
Mhm.
before we saw Terrifier 3, the mini boss, where they have the Nightmare on Second Street, and they just announced that it's starting next week. So I'm definitely gonna go there. And if you go on a Thursday night, the games are all free. So
Oh,
so
wow.
you go there, and when I say they go out all out, I mean literally they do this for Christmas also. But they literally have thousands of themed glasses for everything. Like there's a whole wall of pinball in the back and an extra bar, and I sent some pictures last year. This year, I'm gonna go in full blast and get some good video. I mean, it's like 80s Halloween, like mixed with some modern day stuff too. But like the 80s feel of that place, especially with the video games through, is just phenomenal. And their food is actually pretty solid for like they're not like it's not like they have 100 different items, but they have a couple of like a pizza, some good fries and stuff. But their drinks are amazing. They have really cool, themed drinks, and they give it to you in, the themed glass, like like, for the Christmas one, they had a Krampus drink, and it was literally they had about 100 different Krampus tiki glasses,
Oh my
so you
gosh.
order it, you don't just get, it in a thing, you will get it in your themed glass, like, they go all out. So, definitely looking forward to that too. So I'm like, I just can't think of anything. I mean, there's other haunts I'm dying to try, but I just don't know when I can go. It's hard
Yeah.
because
I mean,
most of the most of the local stuff starts in like the end of September, early October. It's not like Universal where it starts first week of September. We have way
right.
more
Yeah.
time.
You only got, you look at, you, even if you had no weekends booked,
Yeah,
you've only got like 4 weekends in October that anything's going on. So
right.
you take up a couple of those with something else. What do you got left? I mean,
Yeah, I think what I need to put on my next year's list because I looked at it again, I keep getting ads for it, and I'm like, "Oh my god, maybe I should have tried to get this in this year." But it's Sacramento, which is about 2 hours, 15 minutes away, maybe. They have the Sacramento Screen Park, which is supposedly like this. They have about 4 or 5 different houses, and it's like on a reminds me of like a little mini theme park, but with like just all haunts and stuff. So I
yeah,
gotta
those
put that
don't.
on my register for radar for next year. I think it'd be better too if they were open like on weeknights, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe a Thursday if you're
Yeah,
lucky, you
most
know?
places are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, I get it because, it's like, people work, kids go to school, they're gonna make enough money on those weekends. And, to pay a scare actor to sit around and get like half the crowd,
yeah,
probably
it
just not
doesn't make
profitable.
business sense. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we want to talk
Yeah.
horror challenge.
Oh my god, I almost forgot. I said, "Oh, yeah, we're about to wrap this up," and I forgot we didn't
Yeah,
even mention the horror challenge yet. This is a
yeah,
much longer episode than I thought. I apologize, Tim. I'm
yeah.
like, "Yeah, Tim, we'll just do a quick episode." But it is probably important that we discuss the horror challenge a little bit to give people some our usual annual clues. And this year, I know we say this every year, but even Tim and I are struggling. We're texting each other back and forth. We're like, "The hell have we done? I can't
Yes,
find
yeah,
this." What is it? And the worst part is some of these challenges, and Cody pointed out, she's very good. There was a lot of food challenges, and I noticed there's a couple that kind of overlap that you could probably get with like the same scene, get two objectives, literally the same scene. And I apologize for that, but it kind of does help because there are some that are really
there's some really
hard,
difficult ones this year.
and
Yeah,
like you may not be able to pair them up, and you know how important that is to pair these up.
yeah. So for
Um,
anybody who has not done a horror challenge, let me give
yes,
a quick overview. So the way our horror challenges work is we give you what is like 40 some odd objectives. Think of it as a scavenger hunt,
yeah,
but in horror movie form. And basically, each objective is you need to watch a horror movie with this criteria. So it may be with an actor that was on SNL or that was in a movie with this other celebrity, or somebody is playing cards in the scene. The trick to the challenge and the whole puzzle around it is that you're only allowed to watch up to 31 movies. So to fit every objective, some movies are going to have to fit more than one objective. So in other words, you might have to find a movie that has somebody playing cards, but also has the person that's an SNL cast member.
yeah.
So
So
a single movie can count for multiple objectives, and in fact, it has to in
yeah, it
order to be able
has
to fit
to.
31 movies into
Basically,
45 objectives.
yeah, so, let's see, I think there's, like, 40 well, actually, I will tell you in 1 second. I don't count the last 2 objectives because they basically, happen when you complete the challenge.
Yeah,
So, based on
there's
oh, I can't even check.
48.
Looks like there's
48.
48, yeah.
Yeah,
So, think about it. So, you have to pretty much at least 20 uh, well, I don't know. I'm too tired for math, but what you have to get, like, over 20, you have to be I mean, there are some where you can get where you can actually get, you can just get one objective out of it, or sometimes if you're lucky and you get really good stuff, like there's a couple of years where the last 6 movies I watched didn't even need to claim an objective. I don't think that's gonna happen this year
yeah.
because some of the weird objectives I put in there,
Well, let me
but
give everybody a hint on how I
yeah,
approach the challenge because I've completed the challenge every year. This is my strategy when you're trying to map this out. So, first, find an objective that is hard, and you'll know the harder objectives because they're worth more points. So, if it's a
yeah,
40 or 50 point objective, that's going to be a hard one to find. Try to find a movie that fits that objective first. Because if you can watch that one, there's a good chance it may also knock out a couple of the easier objectives
yeah,
just by pure chance. So, I always start with the hardest objectives first. Try to get as many objectives out of those movies as you possibly can. And then as you go on and you knock out those harder objectives, it's going to be easier for you to find single movies to fill out these single objectives as you go throughout the challenge. I think we should mention there are a couple of tools that are going to be invaluable because a lot of this
Yes,
stuff is
yes.
really hard to Google. So we're going to give you a hint. So this is only for people who listen to the podcast
Yeah.
and hear our strategy because we don't post this on social media. But IMDb has a keyword search that is
Yes.
very important. If you Google IMDb keyword search, you can actually Google or actually search IMDb for keywords in movies, which could
Yeah.
really help you with these objectives. Another thing that's going to help you is called the Oracle of Bacon. It is a
Yes.
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon
Which we
website.
used to use for something else, remember? We used to use
Yeah,
for our, like, chat our trivia.
yeah. So it is a website where you can put any celebrity name in the left hand side and any celebrity name in the right hand side, and it will tell you what movies they were in together, or if there's some connection between them. That's going to be invaluable for any objective where it says, you need a movie where somebody starred with Adam Sandler, for instance.
Yeah.
That's going to help you try to figure those out. So those two tools are absolutely crucial. Google, of course, Reddit, of course.
Well,
Sometimes for
Reddit's
some of these more,
been I feel like takes over a lot of the Google searches. So
yeah,
sometimes you gotta, like, really scroll a little bit down on the Google because on the Google searches because, Reddit takes over and it could be like, it's weird the way Reddit comes up on Google, like, because there's a couple I've been looked at and I go into the Reddit page and it, like, just mentions it in, like, a sentence. It's not really talking about what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you really have to
So,
dig. None of these are, a lot of these are. There's a lot that are easy, but the
yeah.
hard challenge is hard not because of the easy ones. The hard challenge is hard because you have to get the hard ones and you have to get multiples of these in the same movie to really 100% the
Yeah.
challenge.
I think it's also harder for Tim and I because we put that self-imposed, which is not a criteria, but we try and do it movies we haven't seen. So that relies on us like taking some assumptions or maybe like another tip I like to add is sometimes watch the trailer for the movie because sometimes you'll see something in the trailer like, "Oh my god, that covers this." Perfect.
Hmm.
Boom, it's there. So and that's why we released it even earlier this year, like, because I know, like, we have, like I know Cody and Jeff, they, like, wait with bated breath for when we release this thing because they go on attack like, Cody is, like, on day 1, she's, like, researching. I feel like she doesn't eat for 3 days until she does like because she, like, focuses all on this because and one of the things she does is very smart that I will say is that, don't and I encourage us, don't be afraid to reach out to us if you're curious about a question, because sometimes, the wording of it is like, it needs a little bit of clarification. Like, I'll give an example. Like, I think this was the one she asked for, or was it Cone? I don't one of them. I can't remember. Sorry, but they said like might have been Cone. But he said watch a horror movie that this is one of the challenges that has any reference to Metallica. So what does that mean? Well, that could be someone walking by wearing a Metallica shirt. That could be Enter Sandman playing in the background. It could be someone saying, "Oh, dude, did you see Metallica?" So,
Yeah,
if you're not sure, it might be easier for you because if you're thinking literally you need to watch a movie that has, like, a Metallica concert going on in the background, you are gonna be looking a long time.
yeah. And
So
we're pretty lenient. Like
yes.
if you can justify, like, okay, there's
It's
I'll put it this way, there's wiggle
it's
room in
honor
these objectives.
system too, so
It's
it's
honor
like not
system
like we're gonna
anyway. Yeah, so there's some wiggle room
scold you,
here. So
yeah.
if you can say, like, okay, technically this person wasn't doing exactly what this is, but in the spirit of the question, I think
Right.
it fits. We will probably let you slide with that. So don't be
Yeah.
afraid to reach out on these. I reach out to Brian all the time. I reached out to him before we even recorded this podcast. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, does this really mean what you say it means? So yeah, it's don't be afraid to question some of these if you have any, because we're just creating these. We're not thinking of every single interpretation of each objective.
Right.
That's where you guys come in and kind of like crowd proof this thing. So it's always a thing that can be in flux throughout the challenge.
Yeah, and two, one of the things that comes has been coming up since, like it's funny, like, what has been coming up since, like, the first year we did this challenge is, what constitutes a horror movie? Now, our usual standby is if IMDb has horror as a distinction, that automatically counts. Like, there's one that I have on my research that's kind of like a family comedy horror film. Well, it says horror on the description, so that counts. But if it doesn't say horror, but you know it's a horror movie and it's a thriller, like I don't think Silence of the Lambs actually says horror on IMDb, but we
Right.
all count that as a horror movie. That is fine. You can get it if you can. Again, it goes the same thing. If you can justify it as a horror movie, it's a horror movie because I mean, even IMDb, which is the is known as the like it's basically the premiere of things. It's it's not always 100% correct. There are mistakes
Yeah.
IMDb I've caught IMDb mistakes, before. I'm like, "Well, that's not right." You know, kind
I
of
think
thing.
you could just. I mean, I know last year I had some movies that were arguably could probably be better classified as comedies or some kind of family film versus
Like, I
horror.
did Hubie Halloween, there's the perfect
Exactly.
example,
There's a
but I
perfect
counted
example.
that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there is a horror theme to it,
Yeah.
and it has horror in the description, but it's a horror comedy. Horror comedies work, horror family works. It's as long as it has the way we look at it, as long as it has some kind of horror theme adjacent even, like,
Does
if it
it
takes
fit the
place around
spirit?
Halloween at some
Yeah.
level, and
Does
it's
it
yeah,
fit
the
the
spirit of it,
spirit
yeah.
of an October challenge? I mean,
Yeah.
you know it when you see it. So yeah, we're not going to be like super sticklers. Like, well, this technically is not a horror movie on IMDb. It's a thriller, a psychological thriller. We're not going to get that in the weeds
No,
with it. I mean, this is
definitely
all
not.
for fun, and it's really designed to get you guys to watch more horror movies and stuff that you
Yeah.
probably would never have watched otherwise. Because I will tell you, there's always, and have no doubt this year it's going to be the same for me. There's always those movies you're going to find that go, oh my God, I can't believe I never saw this before. This is an absolute gem. This is great. And it's always that's the joy of this horror challenge is finding those undiscovered gems that you just
Yeah.
never would have
Oh,
you never would have run across.
and speaking of that, there's one more thing we should say that this is so important. It brings the spirit of it too. Make sure when you watch something, post it and hashtag the Civil Gore HMC 9 because not only could you get help from other people that are posting it, but it gives you a sense of community. Like, I mean, I think one of the funniest things ever was the year I put in you have to watch a movie where someone eats a taco in it, and everybody but me, I'll mind you, because I found another one, but you, Jeff, Cody,
Yeah.
everyone found Taco the Carne Maker, and it became this running joke that's still going to this day.
Yeah.
So, the sense of community is what I love about it because, it's like, what, the whole point remember, you gotta remember back when horror was like that thing where it was like, if it didn't have a close group of friends that liked horror, you felt like kind of alone, you needed to reach
Yeah.
out and find a person. So that's what I love about it. And now granted, we're no longer on Twitter, but we will be posting on Blue Sky and Instagram, which also then goes on to Facebook, I guess, technically. So we'll always those will be the two spots where I'm gonna be posting our stuff. We'll be posting our stuff. And it helps because, because you could be stuck in a challenge and there's no rule that you can't say, "Oh, that's a good one. I didn't think of that. I'm gonna watch that now." Because it's still because, it's just because we claimed it over that you may have already claimed that objective. So you may only be getting one objective out of that, but it could be that one objective where you've been struggling. So
Yeah.
it really like I think it adds fun. And honestly, I was saying this to the other I think I said this the other day to Cody because when she asked a question, and I said, honestly, I think this might be my favorite thing that our podcast has done. And she pointed out that next year is going to be the 10th anniversary of it.
We got to go
So,
really all out.
oh, we're going to go all out. I tried to do it this year, but I think like next year, since it's 10th anniversary, we might have to make it like
I
the
almost want to
most
do like
epic
I
version ever.
almost want to do like 100 objectives or something
I was
ridiculous.
thinking that too. I'm
Yeah.
like, but I don't know how do we even do that. That literally you need to be claiming like 3 objectives per movie on
We might get
average.
figure
And
something out though. We might maybe able to figure something. There may
I
be
want
some
something
kind of way to get.
special. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure something out special for
I
that.
mean,
But
this year has one in there. If you've looked at the objectives this year, there's one where you actually have to physically kind of leave your house to,
yeah, well,
to,
I
to get
agree.
this
I
objective.
think I really and we're not tooting our own horns here. I think this is one of the coolest horror movie challenges I've ever seen on the internet. Not because we created it, but just because of how organically it grew out and like the whole format of it just kind of came out spontaneously and it's
Yeah,
just
because
been refined over the years. But it's like it really feels like a scavenger hunt. It's like it's not
yeah.
like the ones like you usually see that's like watch a horror movie watch a slasher movie, watch a ghost
Yeah,
movie, watch a
I mean,
werewolf
that's
movie.
how it started. Remember, that's
That's
how
how
we
it started.
started it.
Yeah,
I think it was the third year was when we did this, right? When we started with the points, because I think the first year was the standard. We did once a day kind of thing, very basic. Second was the one we did the decades, where we'd release it once a
yeah,
week, kind of
yeah,
thing. And maybe that's how we do it. Maybe we take little bits of every horror challenge we've done, and then like sprinkle on some extra really cool
yeah.
things to it.
I
Like,
like the puzzle aspect of it. Like the scavenger
yeah,
hunt's one thing. If we had 31 objectives, that again be another thing. But the fact that we have more objectives than we have
yeah.
movies, and you have to fit these all in, that creates this giant
Yeah.
puzzle. I think that's the coolest aspect of this whole thing.
Do you remember this, Tim? The first year we did it, I threw in like a trap where I said you had to break one of the rules in order to actually get
Yeah,
the
the
objective, because one of them was you lost points if you did it. But if you didn't do that, you would not get in the other objective, which meant you have to complete every objective.
yeah, it
So
was
it's like,
crazy.
and that, yeah. So, and I have to say, one of the things I love that we did is, and I thought this was is that we always that like if anyone hasn't figured this out yet, I'm sure they have. But the reason why we do 1,031 points because it says 1031, which I thought is a cute little wink nod kind of
Mhm.
thing to it, just to add to it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see any challenge out there that's like ours. I don't, and I'm not saying we're geniuses or anything. I'm not trying to,
No, it just
like Tim said,
happened.
we're not trying to toot our own horn. That's the way it came. We just wanted to do something different, so we tried this. I forgot what kind of inspired us back then, but it was something that like something unrelated to this kind of triggered it. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
what if we did this? And then we kind of brainstormed a little bit, and we came up with this. We're like, oh, okay, and I think originally, like, I'm like, "Well, if we just do points," and I'm like, "Well, what point level do we do? Just 1,000 points?" And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, 1031. No, we need to do that, right? What do you think of that one?" And then, so you're right. It did come out organically, and it took 3 years to kinda get our groove on it. So, while technically it's not 10 years of this version, it's gonna be 10 years of us doing a challenge. So I think,
Mhm.
yes, we do have to, like, commemorate it in some way, like, something extra special. I don't know what it is yet, but at least we have over a year to figure it
Yeah,
out.
we got a year. If you guys have any ideas on what to do for our 10th
Yeah, yeah.
anniversary one, let us know because that would be cool. We'll come up with
Actually,
something.
that alone is a perfect thing. We could have, like, maybe a few that are fan select ones, like, let the fans choose, like, let the
Mhm.
listeners choose what they wanna put in there, and I know Jeff's gonna already throw in that grilled cheese one. I've been threatening him with it forever, and, of course, that one does kinda make an appearance in there, but it's more of a bragging rights thing. It's not a
Yeah,
requirement, and
we got
Tim pointed out that we actually found one that was grilled cheese, but we probably all have seen it, unfortunately,
I
so.
had not seen it, so I'm counting it for
Oh,
mine, and
oh,
I'm
you
getting
didn't
the
see it?
no, I'm getting the bragging rights for it. Yeah.
How did you not see that movie? Wait a minute, you saw it.
No,
Are you
I did.
sure?
I started watching it when it
Oh,
came
and you
out,
never
and
finished
I
it.
never finished it. In fact,
Well,
I had
actually,
to
that
yeah, I had to go back to Letterbox to confirm. I had because I always log every movie I've watched. Yeah, and then I realized I was like, nope, I never saw this. And I even read
oh,
the
you
synopsis, and I was like, nope, I
lucky
don't remember any
you.
of that. Yeah, so I actually
Yeah,
have.
well, and I saw not only did I find 2 I found 2 that actually well, the one I don't think they're eating grilled cheese in it, I think they just purchase it, so I don't think that would count. I don't know. I wouldn't count it myself.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe I would not. I don't think I'd, like, stop someone from counting it, but I wouldn't count it myself because 'cause I'm a little
yeah.
harder myself. But so I found actually 2 of those that actually did that, which is kinda funny. But then there's another one too. That is another good point you made. If you've seen some of the movie, but you never really actually sat down, watched it all the way through, you can count that if you're doing the Tim and I method, like
Yeah.
the ultra version of it. Because there's a movie there that I found for one of the objectives, and I'm like, "You know what? Julie used to have this on all the time, but I don't think I ever actually sat down and watched it all the way through." And I'm, like, thinking, I'm like, "No, you know what? No, I didn't. I know she's had it on a bunch of times, and I've seen her watch it a handful of times, but I have never sat down and watched it." And so I'm counting that as one of my and it's one of the harder objectives, I think. Um,
I did find one this year. I'm gonna have to finally break my rule of not watching a movie I've already seen because I think there's one objective in here that I don't think I'm gonna be able to get without watching a movie I've already seen.
Interesting. You
Unfortunately,
have to
I
tell
just
me that
haven't.
offline.
You already
Yeah,
know
no,
it because I texted you before this show. You already know which one I'm talking about.
oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
but
there's some there. It's like I'm not giving up quite yet on that. I'm gonna still look, but there's one. It's funny. There's one I stumbled upon like that. Oh, and another tip is here's another tip. So, like for the ones like we have, like I'm gonna give like the ones where we say like the Saturday Night Live one. like, a cast member. We specifically said for, that has been, like a former or current. So, don't be afraid to go all the way back and look for the most obscure cast member you could find. You never know what they were in. Because I found one where there's a somewhat recent SNL member that I had no idea was in this movie, and it happened to cover now two objectives on top of that. So I was like, "Oh, well, look at that." And it's a movie I've been dying to see anyway, so it's like, kismet, perfect. So you never
Yeah,
know what you'll find. And I think honestly that's kind of partly the fun of it. It's like because this is what's good about our challenges too is like it like starts like before it actually starts. Like the fun of it is like some of the fun of it is just researching, because you
yeah. The
like
research
you
is the most fun of it.
yeah, because you get so excited when you, like, stumble upon something, you're like, "Oh, this'll match this and this." And also always pay close attention, like I say, any movie you watch, keep that challenge, objective list by your side because you never know if, like, a surprise objective hits, and then
That's
you
why
could
I
just kinda knock
highlighted
it off early.
keywords. Oh, I highlighted keywords this year so that you
Yeah,
could just
that's a
at a
good touch.
glance, yeah, at a glance, you could look over and go, "Oh, yeah, that's right. There's an airport one. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's one with a sheep. Oh, there's one where they're drinking coffee." And that way, while you're watching another movie for another objective, you might go, "Oh, I know that's happened to me every year. I've been
Oh,
watching
yeah,
something. I
yep.
went, oh crap, there's a that one fits this one," and then you get all excited and you do the DiCaprio point at
Yeah,
the
the
TV
DiCaprio
screen.
point. Yeah, that's the and by the way, you'll get bragging rights too if you send us a picture of you doing that DiCaprio point when you
Yeah,
discover a
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
That's just for fun though. But and
Anyway,
I know by the way, we should mention I know we owe prizes from last year, so also please send us an email because I think in between the moves and all the stuff going on, I kind of lost a list of people. So if you
well,
did
also
it
we
last
left
year,
Twitter. We left Twitter,
yeah,
and
we
that
left
that
Twitter
screwed
and that
everything
kind
up.
of yeah, that kind of messed things up. So if you could please, if you're listening to this and you did the horror challenge last year, I'm gonna post this out also on Instagram and Blue Sky. But if you did it last year and we owe you a prize, please let us know. I honestly will we have enough prizes lying around. I'm gonna go grab some other cool stuff and I have a really big mega prize that I still need to get put together that I want to give out. Um and then we'll send it to you. I mean, I'm honestly, if you're lying, then fine. I don't care. Just we'll make
Honor
sure. I mean, I
system,
kind of
yeah,
remember who did it, but like I
yeah,
know like there's some some people that always do it every year. And also, you know what? Another thing, share it with your friends that may not even listen to podcasts or just do that because they may have fun. Who knows? Maybe you'll get them into horror movies too. Because I guarantee you they're gonna quit. Even if you have some non-horror friends on social media, and they'll be like, "What the hell do you keep posting about this? What is
yeah,
objective number 5? What is that?" And because I know so many times people have said, "Oh my god!" Like midway through, they discovered this challenge and they get so upset because like, "Oh,
yeah.
this would have been fun to do. I'll have to do it next year."
We
So
always get
eh,
people every year from the social media tags that say, "Oh,
yeah.
what is this?" So yeah, we're trying to get as many people involved in it as possible. So yeah, definitely use the hashtag Civil Gore HMC9 to tag anytime you're posting about a movie that you make an objective with,
Yeah.
and we'll
It's
do the
also,
same.
honestly, at bare minimum, could even if you're not doing the challenge, it'll help someone watch a cool movie that they maybe haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I know I would love to like, actually go back to all the challenges and, like, start kind of picking out movies that I'm like, "Oh my god, thank God for the challenge because I never would have seen this." Like, it's like and I have to like Tim said, you will guarantee to discover some kind of gem that you never would have seen otherwise.
I mean, I've probably seen. I was just doing the math. If you don't even count, let's say we don't even count our first 2 years, we just count the 6 years, I guess, including this one. That's 186 horror movies
Yeah.
we have seen. I've seen that I never would have probably otherwise seen through this challenge. Almost
Yeah.
200 horror movies, so that's cool.
And also, you know what? Like one of the things I've discovered in this is sometimes you'll find like an actor or actress that's in one of these movies, and you're like, "Wow, they're so good. Let me see what else they've been in," and then it leads to other movies like just for fun,
Oh
that you
yeah,
discover. So
it's fun. So
yeah,
you guys, yeah, definitely participate. Tell us what you're doing for Halloween. Like, tell us like if you guys have plans. Shoot us an
yeah.
email at civilgorepodcast@gmail.com. We'll read it on the air. Anything, just like let us
You
know
want to
what you're
share us
doing.
pictures of your haunts, your home
Pictures, we'll
haunts,
post
or
them. Yeah,
something?
any of
Yeah,
that stuff. We'd love to hear from you. about what you're doing for haunt season so that we can share it with our listeners and maybe give other people ideas on stuff to do. It'll be a lot of fun. So I'm really going all in on October this year, even more than I was last year. I think this is going to be it just seems like a better year for it. It seems like Halloween's almost like Star Trek movies. There's an on year and then there's an off year, an on year, off year.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is kind of this is definitely an on year. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys are doing out there.
Yes.
All right, guys. So take care. We'll be back soon with some really good content.
Yeah, pay attention to our social
Yes.
medias because we'll be announcing stuff. Like, I think that, like, if all goes well, again, I don't want to jinx it. If all goes well, I think we may have one of the most epic episodes
October
coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
All right, take care, guys. We'll see you back here soon.
see ya.